The Export Services team at the U.S. Meat Export Federation has welcomed new faces and some changes in 2023. The Export Services team is now led by Vice President of Economic Analysis, Aaron Bohr.
So thankful to have our new Export Services team all together, and that includes really diverse expertise. And on the technical side, we have Courtney Heller returning to USMEF, so an old hand. And we have Paige Parker, who's also meat science expert, and she comes to us from NCBA. And then we add in an extra level of sort of government, technical market access, but also more on the policy side. And that's Jim Remchek coming to us from USDA FAS. So we've worked in partnership with all three of these folks and organizations in the past. So in that sense, they're not really new. And it's really exciting to have them together on a team.
A priority of USMEF Export Services is always to help ease access issues for member exporters.
One of our primary roles in Export Services is to assist our members with any sort of question about a market or a trade barrier. And some trade barriers can be right at that last point at customs. Maybe there's some issues with paperwork or certificates, and we'll work with the United States Department of Ag as well as our members to help get product flowing. We also will work further back down the line on trade issues and work with our government to help make sure that we gain access for products and allow trade to flow smoothly.
The new members of the Export Services staff come with strong backgrounds in meat export issues, like Jim Remchek, who worked in export policy at USDA prior to joining USMEF.
A lot of the experience that I had at USDA has been directly applicable to the first handful of weeks I've had here at USMEF. I've been able to work with some of my colleagues at USDA, FSIS, and APHIS as well, in ensuring that any issues that members have can be resolved in the most timely and efficient way possible. And a lot of those issues are very difficult and complex. So I think having those established relationships and knowledge of the regulatory field has really helped me hit the ground running.
Export Services also works to expand the knowledge base both for exporters and for USMEF international staff.
My role is really focused on the education component of USMEF. So I definitely touch a little bit on the access side of things, but really a bigger role of what I do is really educating and keeping my thumb on kind of what's going on in the industry, and then taking that information out to our international offices and others as needed, really to arm everyone with the information to be able to actually educate and have conversations in country to the best of their abilities. Obviously, a hot topic is sustainability, so that's a big one. So we're doing a lot of education and kind of just digging into the sustainability resources so everyone's just aware of what's out there and they're better armed for these kind of conversations they're having. But then we're also starting to look into just some of the typical cut knowledge and kind of all the high quality traits that beef and pork have and how they can communicate those better.
The change in structure brings the economic analysis and the export services teams into the same unit.
Historically, we've always worked really closely together, so it's a natural fit. And so much of the understanding the opportunities, understanding the what's at risk, so the potential for damage, but also what is the opportunity that takes the economic side. And so pairing that with the market access makes sense. We've done it historically. And yes, it's a very natural fit.
For more about the U.S. Meat Export Federation and our work around the world, visit usmef.org.